Hi VC, this is Aaron Mitha Alamer, and I am jumping on Chris Prophe's thread of pick a year and show some albums, and I picked 1991. That's a really great year for me. I was 21 at the time, and really just starting to go to the bars and partying a lot, and the music, some of my favorite music came out in 1991. Um, for me, everyone was getting into grunge or alternative, but I stayed with hard rock, heavy metal. I also like grunge though, and the alternative. There's a lot of that I like, but I'll just get to it. I got like about 13 records, 4 CDs, and about 10 cassettes to show. I would show them all on vinyl, but I obviously don't have the other ones on vinyl, or I would show them vinyl. But okay, I'll start with the vinyl first, and start out. I've got Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, Guns N' Roses, great records. I listened to them a million times when they came out, of course, like everyone. Good songs on them. I don't know, sometimes I like them better than Appetite for Destruction, but I think Appetite just holds up a little better. Although, like Coma and Dust and Bones, I love those things. And then I'm going to go for Van Halen, for Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. Pretty good record. I tend to prefer the David Lee Roth era a lot more, but I like the Hagar era, and I actually like the David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar solo albums better than the Hagar Van Halen ones mostly. And I enjoy the later Hagar ones with the Wabaritas and Circle a lot too. They're really good. I got some Tesla, Psychotic Supper. Amazing record. This is a reissue double vinyl. I'd like to find the original, but that does pretty good for now. I love all of the old Tesla records, everything up to Bust a Nut. They're all amazing. My favorite's probably Great Radio Controversy, but that's a close second. Maybe Mechanical Resonance too. They're all really good. And then Nirvana, Nevermind. Nirvana is actually one of my least favorite grunge bands. I've come to appreciate them more later on in my life, but early on I was Alice in Chains, Mother Love Bone, Soundgarden. Those were the ones I really loved, and everyone talks about Nevermind as like one of the first grunge, but actually Mother Love Bone, Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, they were all earlier than that album anyway. And then of course the album I prefer a lot more, Bad Motor Finger from Soundgarden. Great record. One of my 2 or 3 favorite Soundgarden records. I love Chris Cornell's voice. The music's amazing. Great songs. Outshine, Jesus Christ Pose, Rusty Cage. They're all really good. Every song on that's good. Great record. Song from one of my very favorite bands, Anthrax, Attack of the Killer Bees. Some odd and ends they did. I really like Parasites on here and Pipeline. Everything's good on everything Anthrax does is good. I love Anthrax. And this is one of my favorite bands that not a lot of people really know, but they're just they're kind of influential. A lot of bands that come out of this band. It's called Caius. This is Wretch, their first album. It came out in 1991. They're from the Palm Springs area of California. Considered one of the innovators of what they call stoner rock. And the guitarist was Josh Homme, who later went on to do Queens of the Stone Age, Them Crooked Vultures, Eagles of Death Metal, and John Garcia's the lead singer, who is in Hermano, does a lot of solo work, Unida. He's a great singer. Great album there. And then, of course, one of my favorite bands that only had 2 records, though, Sweet F.A. Temptation. This album still blows me away every time I hear it. Not quite as heavy as the first, but pretty close. Every song's great. Storm's Moving In, To Kill You Sunrise, Reckless, some of the heavier ones. But probably my favorite 2 ballads of all time are on that record. Your Love and Paralyzed by You. They're just amazing, and it's good because they're not overplayed. No one really knows about them, so they weren't overplayed on the radio. I don't know if they got any play, but they're just as good or better. I think they're the best 2 ballads ever written, for along with a couple Skid Row, maybe In a Darkened Room. That's really good too. Here's another really great band, the Four Horsemen. Nobody Said It Was Easy. They're in the same vein as Sweet F.A., maybe a little bit more on the bluesy side, kind of like a heavier Leonard Skinner, and they just kick ass. They're a killer, killer. Nobody said it was easy. Rockin' Is My Business, Wanted Man, Hothead. It's really great stuff. And here's a band, Saigon Kick, their first album. They went on to become pretty popular with their second album, The Lizard, which had Love Is On The Way. But this is a pretty heavy, kind of alternative in a way record. Heavy alternative maybe. Really good. I saw them in Portland, Oregon. Before I'd ever heard their record, they were playing at a club there, and they hung out with me and my friends afterwards. Really cool guys. They're from Florida, I think. And I like all the records. They're really good. Another one of my very favorite records of all time, Bullet Boys, Freak Show. I love all the Bullet Boys records. This is my favorite, though. This is their heaviest, greatest record. Their first debut was amazing, but this is even better. With Good Girl and Hang On St. Christopher and Hell Yeah, THC Groove, amazing song. And David Lee Roth, A Little Ain't Enough. Probably my favorite of his solo records. I love this record. Sensible Shoes, 40 Below, everything. This is like the Van Halen record, more Van Halen than For Unlawful Cardinal Knowledge, really. And then I got a couple CDs here. I wish I could find this on vinyl. I know it's available, but I still haven't come across it. It's Dangerous Toys, Hellacious Acres, their second album. Not as good as their debut. Their debut is one of my favorite albums ever. This is a good, solid record, though. Gunfighter, Sticks and Stones, Best of Friends, pretty good song. Line 'Em Up, Bad Guy. They do a cover of Feel Like Making Love from Foghat that's really good. And they're one of my favorite bands, too. I love Dangerous Toys. And then, of course, we got Slave to the Grind from Skid Row. I've been trying to get this on vinyl for about 20 or 30 years. It's always just too expensive. And I just have never actually seen it. But to order it, it's like, $60 to $120 usually online. And I'm just waiting to find it. The Threat, Slave to the Grind, every song on that's an amazing record. Actually, my second favorite record of theirs, I tend to prefer Subhuman Race a little more. But both of those are amazing. Great, great records. Another one of my favorite records, Shotgun Messiah, Second Coming. This is a great, great album. Killer guitar work, good vocals, good all the way through. I know the Tim Skold, I think, went on to play with Marilyn Manson, which I'm not a big Marilyn Manson fan, but I appreciate his stuff a little. But that record is killer. And here's one not a lot of people know about, and it's never been issued on vinyl. It's their only album they ever did. It's called Wild Boys Unleashed. And me and my friends listened to this album so much when it came out. It's kind of reminiscent of if Poison was a little more bluesy, or maybe like a Tough or something. They're really good. Pleasure and Pain, every song. In Your Face, Cowboy Ride even is good. I'm On My Way. It's really catchy, really good stuff. And my tapes, I'll start off with Black Eyed Susan. This here is a pretty good band. It's the singer Dizzy Davidson, the singer from Britney Fox, his band after he split from them. But it's kind of Britney Fox's, but it's more bluesy. It's a bluesy or a little mellower album. It's really good though. And Bang Tango, Dancing on Coals, great, great band. I have Psycho Cafe on vinyl, but I don't have Dancing on Coals. I'd like to find it. It's a good record too. I like Psycho Cafe better, but this is a great record too. I saw them with it was Wild Side, Tough, Bang Tango, and Dirty Looks at a concert, and they were all really good. Another really great record, Badlands, Voodoo Highway. I need this on vinyl as well. It's a great record. The Last Time, every song. There's a really good ballad on here too. In a Dream, really good. Killer. Badlands is a killer. Jakey Lee and Ray Gillen. A very underrated band. They only had 2 albums, I believe. And the singer died, Ray Gillen. That was too bad. Here's one. I only have a promo copy of this. It's called The Boogeymen. There's no such thing as The Boogeymen. And this is kind of a heavy alternative band. They're really good. Spiritual Beggars, Here in Paradise. Good album. It's really good. I got Dirty Looks bootlegs, another great one. These are a little worn out because I've had these since they came out, and I've used to take them in my car, listen to them, taking to parties. I've listened to these albums so much, these tapes. That's what I was into back in the 80s, was cassettes, 80s and 90s, because it was easy to take them with me, of course, you know. And, you know, Fang and the Love Pig is on this. It's really good. Dirty Looks, their first two records are my favorite. Well, I know they had some before, but Cool from the Wire and Turn of the Screw, those you can't go wrong with. Those are amazing. And Five Easy Pieces is killer, too. Here's a kind of an obscure band, I Napoleon. I listened to this so much when it came out. It's kind of a heavy, hard rock, heavy metal, proggy a little bit. It's killer. Every song's good. Whip Silly, Feels Like Suicide. I Am the Idiot was the big song that everyone knew at the time. It's good all the way through, and it was never released on vinyl. That's too bad. Another really great tape is McQueen Street. These guys this is another really good album. Every song's good. And then I got Kathmandu. It's the singer from Fastway. After he was in Fastway. It's a really good album. It's a little heavier, really good, bluesy a little. And I've mentioned them earlier. Tough, What Comes Around Goes Around. Kind of a heavier version of Poison. I like them better, actually. They're killer. Got a couple tapes of them. If I could ever find this on vinyl, I'd buy that in a minute. Ruckapit Bridge. It's really good. And my last one I'm showing is The Scream, Let It Scream. This is John Corabi's band before he was in Motley Crue for the one album, and this album kicks ass. It's really good. Outlaw, Man on the Moon, it's just killer. Everything John Corabi does is good. I really like him. So congratulations, Chris, on the year. It's really cool. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you later.